Hi, I'm Patty Sharf, CPA and co-founder of Catching Clouds, the leader in e-commerce accounting. Hang on. Hi, I'm Patty Sharf, CPA and partner at Acuity. Okay, so it has been a really long time since I did a video. So if you want to know what happened, first of all, check the link down below. There is going to be a link talking about our merger with Acuity, but this video is going to be covering that. I want to kind of tell you what happened between my last video in 2019 to this video in 2024. Like, oh my gosh, it's been so long. So make sure you stay till the end though, because I'm going to talk about how Catching Clouds has changed by merging with Acuity and how it impacts all of you. Okay, so like I said, the last video that I did was in the summer of 2019. We had done a 5-month trip to New Zealand and Australia. Actually, I did a video, you can check it out here, that talked about what happened when we took a whole 4 weeks off. I think that when I recorded that video, it was the beginning of that 5-month trip. So it was like that first month that we took off and we're like, oh, things went pretty well. We've got a few tweaks to make and things will be all good. By the time we got to the end of that 5-month trip, there were a lot of changes that we felt like we needed to make, and we needed to make them really quickly so that the business was going to be more stable and it was going to be more resilient. And I will point out, this was in 2019, not 2020. So it's really good timing that we did it then. But the things that we did in 2019, we added the entrepreneurial operating system to our stack. We added an offshore team from the Philippines to help take off some of the burden of a lot of the calculations and things like that. We implemented process.st. You can watch a video about that here. We implemented Zapier. You can watch a video about that here. So there were lots and lots of changes that we were making all at the same time. When we were done with that, which really happened, I mean, we weren't done with it until early 2021. It took us a full 2 years to make all of those changes. We were really happy with everything that we had done. I think it did make our business more resilient. And I'll talk about that when we get to 2020. So 2020, what happened in 2020? Does anybody remember anything special about 2020? Oh yeah, pandemic. Now, that actually wasn't that big of a deal for our firm because everybody was already working remotely. I made a joke like on the day that everything shut down, I like pinged our whole team and was like, okay, everybody, here's the plan. Everybody work from home. And everyone was just like, yeah, you're hilarious. So that was that. But other things happened in 2020. My dad passed away. My dog passed away. My oldest child took a break from college, came back home. It was just a tumultuous time for everybody, I think. And I wasn't really considering doing videos with all of that going on in my life. I just had to take a break. So for my own mental health, that's what I did. Then 2021 happened. And I was thinking, okay, we're about at the end of all of these changes. I can start doing YouTube videos again. But then we got hit with the Great Resignation. We had a company in California that poached most of our controllers. Basically, half of our US team, they either got amazing opportunities or I suspect they just didn't want to be left holding the bag when everybody else was getting poached and leaving and all of that. And absorbing all of that after coming off of 2 years of craziness, like I was just thoroughly burnt out. And I've done a video on entrepreneurial burnout, and I was a victim of that. So Scott and I just decided, you know what, life is too short and we've got to come up with a new plan, whether that is selling the business, whether that's merging with another firm, whatever that looks like. I cannot keep doing this same thing over and over and over. So we started reaching out to a bunch of our peers in probably very end of May, early June of 2021. And one of the people that I got in touch with was Kenji Kuramoto with Acuity. He was somebody that I knew from Accounting Salon, which I did a video on. And we really liked them. The good thing about Acuity was by merging with them, it meant we could continue doing our thing into the future. We weren't really ready to give up working with e-commerce sellers. We still had dreams to come to fruition with that. I think we saw that if we had sold our firm and done an exit that way, we would have probably put in 2 years, been done, moved on. And that's not really what we wanted. So when we were talking to Acuity, they had a lot of the same vision that we did. They were using a lot of the same tools. They had already built up a couple of offshore teams like we had done. So I think that when we started thinking about merging with them, it just felt like a natural fit. We were the same, like similar ages. We had kids all going off to college. We were just kind of in the same stage of life. We had the same aspirations and things like that. But Scott and I were really good with technology, structure, process, all of that. The Acuity team was really great with people, and they were just really flexible. They were a lot bigger than us, like maybe 4 times as big as we were. And so coming together, it kind of felt like it was a natural pairing. So that's what we did. So the next question is, it's been 2.5 years since that merger happened. So how did it go? And I will tell you, it takes a lot of work to squish together 2 multi-million-dollar businesses. And things aren't going to always be easy or fun or whatever. But dang, this was like, I've been through other transitions like this, and this was by far the best one. Like it was pretty good. All right. Not perfect, but pretty good. One of the reasons why I think it was so good is because we meshed our cultures. Our cultures just fit really well together. And when we brought the Catching Clouds team into Acuity, man, I just have to give a special shout out to Abby, Cheryl, Lee, Beth, Melissa, and all of the people in the Philippines. They all put all of their faith and hope and trust into us, and they just weathered through that transition. They just didn't know what they were getting into. They took it on blind faith, and I could not be more thankful. They all have done an amazing job, and many of them have stepped into positions of leadership, and they just, I mean, I couldn't have done it without them. And I so greatly appreciate everything that they did. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Scott. So Scott, for those of you who don't know, my co-founder of Catching Clouds, also my husband. His background was in IT, but he's also like the e-commerce guru. I don't know anybody who knows e-commerce as well as he does. He just kind of fell into e-commerce accounting because I'm an accountant. And so we kind of put our skills together, right? So we are still married. We are, let's see, we'll have been together 30 years this year. He's still a partner at Acuity, but now he's a silent partner. He was the chief technology officer, and he was kind of running the e-commerce show. But I feel like you know how they say if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. He wants to go fast. With Acuity and Catching Clouds coming together, it just got too big. It just wasn't what he had kind of imagined for himself, and he didn't want to run an accounting firm anymore. Anyway, so he opened up Sharf Consulting. And what he does is he provides e-commerce entrepreneurs business coaching and transformation services to optimize them and their businesses. So in essence, he just continues to make e-commerce businesses better. That was our mission at Catching Clouds, and he's still doing that. So I'm really happy for him. He's really happy in that role. I'll probably put a link to his website down below. I think that would be smart, in case anybody is looking for help from him. For me, for the past 2.5 years, I went from being the CEO at Catching Clouds. Now I am the Chief Process Officer at Acuity. The last 2.5 years, me and a team of other people, like I did not do this on my own, but we've really been focused on building out the infrastructure and making sure the data and workflows and processes are clean and streamlined at Acuity. That was something that I think they needed a lot of help with, and I was happy to do that. And I feel so much better about where we are now than where we were a couple of years ago. But as you may have guessed, since you're seeing me on screen, now that we've cleaned up a bunch of that stuff and things are kind of rocking and rolling, I now have the time to dip my foot back into e-commerce, where I started all of this fun and frivolity. And I'm going to start doing YouTube videos again. So you're going to start seeing my smiling face on YouTube probably weekly going forward. So I'm very excited to be back. Now, what does this change mean for all of you? So one big change from Catching Clouds to Acuity. We used to only serve 1 million and up clients. So if clients had $1 million in gross revenue, they were closer to our target market. So there were a lot of clients, and I was actually really, this always warmed my heart. I would hear from people, oh, I can't wait until my business gets big enough. I am working hard so that I can become a client of yours. I'm too small now, but that's where I'm headed. And I mean, that is like the biggest compliment. And I'm so happy about all of that. But now that our firm is bigger, we actually have more capacity and we can do more things. So the second thing is, we used to be an all or nothing kind of full service, white glove service, where you would have a controller, you would have an accountant, actually you would have a team dedicated to your account, and we would do all of your books daily. Now we can do things more a la carte. So we can help meet you where you are and help your business maybe on a monthly basis, maybe on a weekly basis, maybe on a daily basis, because we're still really good at that daily stuff. But also, in addition to that, we've got CFO services. We can do tax returns, which we swore we weren't going to do as Catching Clouds and did not do as Catching Clouds. But as Acuity, we can help you out. So we've truly become a one-stop shop, and I'm really excited about that. And then the third thing, the third big change is we used to only use Xero. And here, watch this video on Xero versus QuickBooks Online. I think it'll help show you why we were only using Xero. And it'll also kind of explain why we're now doing QuickBooks Online as well. But now we have a bigger team, we have more resources. We can now take on clients who are using Xero, who are using QuickBooks Online. So the floodgates have opened a little bit. We've got a lot more capacity to do the things from a broader range of people. So I'm really excited about that. All right. And I think that is it. Again, check out the link below that talks about our merger. And I guess I'll be seeing you next week. All right. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like, comment, and share. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and I'll catch you later. I'm back.